Hi and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my 1967 MGB GT. We are now in a second lockdown in the UK and we're only allowed to go out for sort of exercise and that kind of thing. So I'm here at a local beauty spot dressed in some outdoor gear, getting some exercise as well as giving the MG a bit of a stretch of its legs. And it's a real shame actually because obviously this is probably the last month, November really, before things start to get a bit nastier for winter weather wise, and you may not be able to get out as much in your classic cars, but I tend to use my cars through the winter, just try and keep them clean and avoid those wet and salty days that might be happening when it's a bit cooler. But you can see probably from the state of my car that I did actually get a little bit lost earlier and looks like I've been rallying in it. So the purpose of this video then is to try and bring you up to date with what's going on with the MG and my plans over winter and the kind of work that I'm going to do on it. So I'll probably do a bit of a walk around of the car and just talk about the different bits that are needing attention. So the first place to start I think is under the bonnet. So there are a couple of things that are broken and need fixing. One is a leaky heater valve. So at the moment if I have the heater on it doesn't leak, but if I turn the heater off I get coolant loss from the valve. I've bought the parts for that, so that'll be something I'll be fixing fairly soon. It's quite an easy thing to do. And another thing which I've noticed on the way over here is a leaking exhaust again. So the type of exhaust I've got uses these sort of flanged joints with a gasket in between them, and they tend to leak quite a lot. So either I'm not doing something right or not tightening something up properly or using the wrong materials, but certainly seems to fail more than the more traditional sleeved type of exhaust there. And the next thing I suppose under the bonnet is not so much something to fix but something to continue working on, and that's my maintenance series. So in the first lockdown I did a few episodes of how to maintain your MGB as according to the driver's handbook. So I think I got up to the 6,000 mile service, so I'll continue that with the 12,000 mile service, and then the kind of things that you should do every couple of years. So there'll be a couple more episodes of that coming out. Moving on from under the bonnet, I have also noticed that there's a bit of a clonking noise coming from my diff or drive shaft somewhere. Hopefully that's universal joints or something, but it could even be that my diff is worn and needs a bit of an overhaul. And then also I could do with actually working a bit on refreshing the front and rear suspension components, as they've never been done in my ownership of 7.5 years. So it'd be good to give those a bit of a freshen up and learn about how to work on suspension, because I've never done that before, and I thought it'd be good practice when I eventually do the Lotus. Finally, something which I probably won't work on myself and probably something I won't do this winter and probably be early part of next year, is to try and address some of the bodywork niggles on this car. So there are a few bits that need attention. So I had this car resprayed a good few years ago now, and there are a couple of bits that need to be worked on. I don't know whether it's just a case of how I've been storing it or the condition of the car when it was resprayed, but some rust has come back that needs to be sorted out there, primarily on the rear window seams. So I think that's a common place for MGBs to sort of rot, or on the GT model in particular. It's at the bottom of the window gutter. And then there are a couple of other spots on the car, such as there's a small patch on the roof and just below the rear tail light needs to be addressed. And then there's some other minor bits that needs to be tidied up. So that's kind of my plans for this winter with this particular car. I will try and keep driving it if I can, if the things I'm working on don't mean I've got it in bits for too long a period, but I'll probably try and pick the nicer days rather than days like today where it's a bit damp and grey. But I've really started enjoying this car again. I did have a bit of a break from driving it as much as I used to because of the XK8 and obviously working on the Lotus, and I do really love driving this car, and it's such a back to basics type of motoring experience, and it's kind of enjoying motoring in almost its rawest form, and yeah, really great fun. So the last few weekends I've just been getting out, not even with my camera, and just enjoying it, apart from last week at Leith Hill when I was in the rain and I was desperate to try my camcorder out, and I was quite pleased with how that came out. But anyway, I'm going to carry on driving this for a little bit before packing it up before the rain starts later today. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've had a bit of an insight into what my plans might be this winter, and yeah, some good content to come hopefully. See you later.